Hello, my name is Amira Azmi and my matrix number is 210870.
And so, hello, hi, and my name is Muhammad Alif Shahmin bin Mamin, and my metric number is 210751.
Hi, my name is Nurin Izati binti Sohamri. My metric number is 211915.
Hello, my name is Dayang Nailatul Farafisa binti Awang Matasan and my matrix number is 211088.
Hi, my name is Aina Dira binti Ma'arif and my matrix number is 209938.
So today we are here to discuss about technology and our views regarding the statement that says integration of technology in the classroom hinders a positive learning environment, to be precise. So does anyone want to start by sharing their thoughts in this matter?
May I start?
Sure, go ahead.
So in my point of view, integration of technology in the classroom thus hinders a positive learning environment. It is because it will create an isolation for the students, which lead them to a digital and virtual world that distances them from any form of social interaction. One distinctive feature of face-to-face teaching is collectivism and collaboration, while the most distinctive feature of technology-based teaching is the lack of any feeling of collectivism or togetherness. However, research has proven that widespread use of technology in the learning process leads to a student distraction, the fragmentation of knowledge, and the inability of teachers to manage classroom. In short, isolation and loneliness seems to be the ultimate replication of students' use of technology as being totally immersed in manipulating the classroom digital gadgets. They often forget there are classmates they can rely on and interact with. Anyone have another opinion?
Can I voice out my opinion? So, thank you for your wonderful opinion. However, I would like to say that I can agree with you because in my opinion, I think that integration of technology in the classroom a pos- do not hinders a positive learning environment. First, if we look back into the definition of technology, we know that according to Wikipedia, technology is a continually developing result of accumulated knowledge and application in all techniques, skills, methods, and process used in industrial production and scientific research. So, looking at the bright side, I see that actually technology do have a lot of benefit than disadvantages in this part. First, I saw that technology actually encouraged the students to learn spontaneous learning. This is because having access to technology can help children to learn investigating topics that they find interesting. However, for older generation, information was not as readily available and required that children have access to traditional resources like now. However, children nowadays have a wealth of information right at their fingertips. And when they use appropriately and monitored technology, it actually can supplement learning in or outside the classroom by providing the outlet for children to research the topic in which they are interested. A lesson about, for example, a dinosaur and etc. And also it could be supplemented by a YouTube video or a virtual field trip to a natural history museum. And also, I believe that technology can prepare the students for life after the graduation. This is because the ability to use technology effectively is an increasingly vital skill, not only in below 12th education, but also in the lives of students after graduation. So actually, there's a lot of college courses that are frequent being offered online or hybrid, you know, between classroom meetings and also online lessons. So actually, even courses taking place in traditional classrooms are starting to utilize more e-learning software such as laptop, gadget, and etc. And students, if they learn in their earlier generation to navigate technology like such as e-learning and research purpose, they are more better in preparing for college entrayment, if I'm not mistaken, and also they can learn better, and their careers also will improve a lot. And lastly, I believe that technology affords better access to resources because students can also supplement their learning by connecting with online groups and virtual communities in real time or by collaborating on group projects. How about you, Alif?
So for me, uh, I first of all I agree with technology really helps student, but I think they have many disadvantage than the advantages. So first of all, the technology will distract the student. Example like smartphone have a bad reputation in classroom, so there have been strong cases for banning them in schools. So research suggests that during class time, when smartphone, 42% of the time that students spend on their smartphone in the classroom, it was on text, tweets, or otherwise engaged in social media rather than the lesson. So, however, bans on device such as smartphone are unlikely to work. A student will inevitably get around them. Computer can provide young children with access to an appropriate content or information if the proper security measures are not put in places. Website blocker, internet filter, and close supervision can help to prevent children from being exposed to such and lesson in etiquette or proper use of internet can instill good web judgment and habit at an early age. So I think that technology also have an disadvantage to a student nowadays than advantages. But uh, we need to control it when we use it. So that's all for me.
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt a little bit?
Yeah.
I want, I want to say that I am agree with Alif because and to add a little bit point that much reliance on technology does appear to have a negative impact on students' competencies, which include in three areas that are important to them, which are reading, writing, and arithmetic. It fully describes that the risk of using technology in the classroom and warns about the potential negative consequences on student progress. There is also a literature confirming that typing impairs handwriting and reading, and that information technology IT also causes a shallow information processing. As a result, student does not learn as much from using technology in the classroom like an online book as they do from physical books and publications. So therefore, I agree with Alif that he said there are many more disadvantages to the integration of technology in the classroom.
Um, I think I do have to disagree with both of you, which is Ain and Alif. This is because with Alif's statement stating that, banning phones from classrooms, I don't think that that's the actual problem, that the teenagers using phones, they're They're learning how to use their phones, mostly on social medias and how to tweet and Instagrams and all of those apps. But if we were to teach them how to use their technologies or like laptops in terms of learning materials such as using Excel, words, or how to research or search for topics that they might be interested in, I think we can kind of change how they use their technology. So I have to disagree with you for that point. And I must say, um, by an article I read by Southeastern Louisiana University in USA, they stated that the knowledge needed for tomorrow's job will change before many of today's students enter the job market. And for this, my understanding of that statement is that students needs to be able to keep up with the current trend, which is now is technology. Technology is evolving in so many ways and quickly. So if we were to hinder technology from students' grasp, it might make them feel a bit left out when they graduate, and especially when they enter like their job environment. So I think that's my point towards the statement. Does Farafisa would like to express her thoughts?
I completely agree with what Amira just said. I don't think that using technology in classroom would hinder positive environment. Firstly, because technology actually encourages students to have good teamwork and collaboration. For example, today's technology, we have apps like Google Documents and Google Slides where students can actually use to do some group works where they can have their teamwork to do so. And other than that, I think that um, having technology in classroom prepares students for the future because as we know, technology will have a lot of development in our world as years go by. So this development will be a bit shocking if students nowadays don't use technology today. So that is why technology is important for students to use in their classroom. So I stand for technology does not hinders a positive environment. And that is my point.
Can I close our discussion? So I would like to add a point before we reach to a conclusion. Actually, I have read an article at Celebrity School, if I'm not mistaken. You can look up celebrityschool.com. Actually, they have done a few research on whether technology did give disadvantage or advantage to the students, and they reached to a conclusion, and their research is successful to say that they believe in a balanced approach to education, which is fine but informative, technological but hands-on, modern yet traditional, that striking to strike the perfect balance. They dedicated and professional educators help nurture your child's cognitive, social, and emotional development, all in a safe, nurturing environment. So to say that actually technology did not hinder the happy environment at all. So I
I
want
have
to
to
like to
agree
add.
with Noreen also. I'd like to also mention that in 2009, Van Meter Community School in Iowa actually adopted a one-to-one laptop initiative. And one of the fifth grade girl talked about how she loved to present and show what she could do by using technology. And I think that this demonstration of passion can serve as a proof in how students can excel in their education with technology. So I think we can reach a conclusion if Alif and I would like to add any points.
Mm, can I add another point? Don't you think the integration of technology with the humanization of education in many environments and distortion of the relationship between teachers and the students? Teachers will
Um,
lectures from a distance in higher education institution and online courses. For example, students are required to interact with machines rather than humans. As a result, the teachers know nothing or very little about his or her students, and the students have no close contact with their teachers. Teachers and students also, teachers and students' attitude also toward the use of technology and its drastic impact on student-teacher interaction, with some claiming that using technology hinders relationship between teachers and students and creates
mhm.
a barrier for a simple communication between them, which when the time goes by, a negative learning environment will be created. But after I heard Nurin, Amira, and Dayang point, I think that there's a lot of advantages to the technology for students instead of disadvantages, because even now all of us are using technologies to start learning as there are a pandemic going around. So I agree with that technology does help us. That's it from me.
Thank you, Ayin. What about you, Alif?
So I will continue with my point. So for the all of what point that you say, the technology will cost money for all of us to buy the technology. So nothing in the world is free. So buying cutting edge electronic for a classroom or education is downright expensive for all of us. Why there are no way to avoid spending money, modernization in the education. So it at least possible to maximize the total cost of ownership by installing devices that have lifespan and reduce maintenance in the classroom and for the education. So So of course, there will be a challenge along the way as we adopt new technologies in education and improve them to suit the student outcomes. So, but the advantages vastly outweigh the disadvantages of technology in classroom. It is just always important to remain aware of where the latest tech is coming up short and to adjust course for the best possible learning outcome for the education. I think it's safe to say that now all of us disagree with the statement that made regarding the effect that technology has in classroom. So that's all for me. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for participating in the discussion.